Okay, so happy 5 year anniversary, everyone! Woo! so we came up with some thinking questions, and I don't know. Anyone want to start? I think I don't know. I'll start anyways then, with saying that honestly, Warriors for Justice and all of you have changed my life, and I can't even tell you how much it means to me. I'm just so thankful for what we have created together. My life is completely different, like really, because of what we've done together. It's changed my whole like experience working in education too, and it's what I've always wanted to be able to do. Like when I first started teaching, I went into teaching because of organizing. And it wasn't until Warriors for Justice that I finally felt like it all started to make sense. Um, so just wanted to say that. And I guess we could what we could do is we could start with like oldest member to like most recent if you want. We could do it that way. Would that make sense?
Yeah, let's do
Okay.
that. Let's do
Is Angeline around too?
She went grocery shopping with my mom.
Okay. So then at some point, if she wants to participate, to have a chance to share a little bit, because I do know
that.
that Angeline was the seventh grade member when Aya and everybody and
Mm-hmm.
Mariah were sixth graders. And then Angelica was eighth grade when all of you were sixth graders. So then I think that would mean that we would start with Aya.
Okay. So me, I'm super grateful to like be able to be a part of Warriors for Justice because honestly, it had opened my eyes to so many topics and it just feels great contributing to like help others in general and spreading various messages um, to so many people and like I said, I'm really grateful to like get to know all of you guys, all the new members, and Miss Corey because like we've known each other for 5 years and we put a lot of work into creating Warriors for Justice in the beginning. I remember planning and making all the documents that we had did, and like I had a lot of fun because we used to have passes in order to go during lunch, and we made those and we passed them out and everything. And I just think it's great, like getting to express myself and like having a space where like a bunch of students get to do that um, in order to like fight for what we think is right personally and sharing other people's like experiences. So yeah.
I feel like it would be great too after we have a chance to share where we could ask each other questions. Because one of the things I was thinking about is that when we first planned for that very first event, which really would have been 5 years ago today on a Friday in Mixed Crystal's art room, for that 16 days of activism against gender based violence, Warriors for Justice didn't exist. It was just something we talked about wanting to do. So, like at that time, could you have imagined that it would have become this? Because I totally didn't.
I remember because I was your IWT, um, and we were learning about like Cesar Chavez and everything. And I was like, oh wow, I really want to talk about this more, and I want to talk about like even more um, like times like this. So I was thinking about it, and then like we proposed the idea to each other, and like the police brutality, that section, I think that that was like the very start because that's when we were like working on the posters um, with all of the police brutality victims on it. So
Yeah, it
yeah,
was. I remember
it's
it was
crazy that we've gotten this far.
Say Her Name, right?
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, and we didn't even have a name then.
Oh, we didn't. It took us a while to come up with a name. Yeah.
I think Mariah, you were part of the conversations when we were trying to figure out what should we call ourselves, right? At that point. Yeah. Does anyone have any other questions for Aya? Because then if not, we could go next to Mariah. Hi, Mix Crystal. So what we're doing
Hi,
is
Crystal.
we decided to go around in a circle and then just ask everybody to share. There were some thinking questions we came up with, and we were just gonna have everybody share based on pretty much, I guess, just like when they joined. So anyone else have any other questions for Aya about like that stage in the development of Warriors for Justice before we go, or you could just decide when you want to pass, I guess. You could just give us a thumbs up or say you're ready to pass, maybe, or kick it off to the next person, which would be Mariah. Yeah? All right, cool. So passing the mic or the talking piece to Mariah.
Hi, I'm Mariah, and I'm pretty sure everybody here knows me. To answer the first question, I've been part of this since I think the first event I went to. Well, I went to the meetings first, but the first event that I went to was the MLK, like the poetry competition where we had to recite a poem. And I joined because it's just like something that I was interested in. And I was really just I just entered it on my own, and it was cool because as what I said, like we would be giving passes to go during lunch to Miss Corey's classroom, and I joined when it wasn't even like Words for Justice because at that time it was when it was like right after the event that they did for the 16 days, the first event that I was part of, and um it's I feel like it's been so long because it's already been 5 years, and I was like super active in my sixth, seventh, and eighth grade year, and I did like so much, and um it's just really shocking how it's been 5 years because like I just remember all like the planning and all the like especially when we were figuring out what we were gonna call ourselves, when we were like legit gonna start a club, and we had like recurring meetings every like 2 times a week. And I also remember when we started to draw our logo. I remember we had bass and we had all the people who were artists in our club at that time figure out like what we wanted on our logo. Cause I remember Aya and I believe Haiti and some other people were figuring out what the logo was gonna be with bass and drawing out ideas, and um that's when we like were early started. We already had our name, but we were just like, what is our logo gonna be? And I feel like to answer the questions like what's my favorite memories, like when I first started, like when we were all like as like a club, that's how where I felt like we started to gain unity. So like that's what my favorite memory and first memory for um the the third and fourth question. So if anybody has any other questions for me, you can ask.
Anything you're wondering about from what Mariah was sharing? Um, can you explain a little bit more about the logo and what you remember from that?
I remember when we were having the conversations in one of our meetings was that what did we want it to represent? And um I think people chose a rose because um I don't wait. Yeah. I remember someone said something about a rose and how we all agreed with it and how we decided like because we only had a logo at that time, so we were like, oh, it's gonna be a purple rose to represent the first action that we well because at that time we weren't Wars for Justice, but it was like when I was part of the 16 days of action, like how Affirm uses a purple rose in the color purple to represent domestic abuse, and I guess we just chose that color and the way we chose the lettering of our name, and we chose our colors are purple and gold and black and gold now too, and well, that's what I specifically remember because it's been so long. I just remember someone said something about a rose and we were all just in agreement, and I feel like that's where we all were just like, yeah, this is totally going somewhere.
Do you remember anything more about those conversations, Aya?
Um, I think she said everything. Like I do remember like base being there and everyone was in your room. And we had to like think about it a lot. And I think we also thought about like wanting shirts also, if I'm correct. That was a conversation.
Yeah, I know that it was connected to the Purple Rose campaign was is and currently still right is about the sex trafficking of women and children. So I remember we had that one event at Eastside Arts Alliance too, with and then it was a joint workshop with the firm, and then
Oh,
we also did the workshop for Empowering Women of Color conference at UC Berkeley, which was also about sex trafficking, and that was tied into what you were doing with sixth grade expo on human trafficking and modern day slavery.
yeah.
Uh, yeah. Hi Kai. So I guess from Mariah, it would be Angelica, right?
Yeah.
Should we be saying your ages and your grades? So we know right now, that way in 5 years you can look at it and be like, oh my gosh, I was in that grade and that age. So both of you are 11th grade now, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
And you're both how old now?
We're
16.
both 16 because I know I is older than me because we have around the same birthday. I just know
Yeah,
that.
my birthday's in July 11th.
Yeah, I'm in July too. I think you're the 11th, right?
Hmm.
Aya?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm in
so
the 11th.
she's older than me and I'm younger than her.
So
Yeah, and we're both in the same class and we go to the same school.
Yeah.
11 to 16 at this point?
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, Angelica, do you want to also like mention maybe right at this point for the sake of like capturing that your age and your grade too, so we know where everyone is in the span?
Yeah, so hi, my name's Angelica. I'm currently I'm 15 and I'm like a sophomore, so like I'm in 10th grade. I don't have to share. Should I share how I got into War for Justice?
It could be, I was thinking it could be any one of those kinds of questions, whatever it is you want to talk about.
Oh.
Oh wait,
Oh,
Crystal has to go. Mix Crystal, do you want to share anything before you leave? I love Mix Crystal's background.
Mix Crystal, you're muted.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, sorry, I have to go, but I just wanted to see everybody real quick, and yeah, love to hear what y'all have been up to. Um, I don't know. I feel like it's always been. I feel like Voice for Justice has always existed in some kind of iteration. Um, but yeah, I'll always remember the beginning with the purple rose and Affirm, and it's just wonderful to see how it's evolved over the past 5 years, and like 5 years, I'm like 5 years doesn't feel like anything at this moment in my life. It seems like it all went so quickly, and yeah, but I'm glad to see that folks are keep on doing the work past their time at UPA. So the longevity of this group is really beautiful and it's very powerful. Obviously, a testament to the value and the like strength of this group and Mix Corey's you know her energy as a foundation for it as well. Like all of you together, I think it's so beautiful. Um, and yeah, I'm excited to hear that some of you are starting some like a Warriors for Justice 2.0 in your own schools or staying involved in some way or another. So yeah, it's really good to see you all. I'm sorry I have to leave, but I'm glad I got to see you. And yeah, I'm Corey. I love you. You're amazing. Thank you for all the work you do. All right, y'all. Have a beautiful weekend. I'll see you all later. Bye.
Thanks for stopping by to say hi. Yeah, I just wanted Mixed Crystal to have a chance to say something because Miss Bags didn't have it, like had to leave. So okay, so back to Angelica.
Yeah, so let's talk about, so like how I like initially joined was because of my sister who like was in the club before, and she said it was like when she was like still in UPA and in the club, and like I was turning to a sixth grader, and like over the summer my sister was like and like made me tag along with this like, weren't you guys doing like this activity over the summer, like meeting up with the members? Maybe
We
that.
do.
But like over the summer, you guys were meeting up, and that's when I met like all the members that were like in Warriors for Justice when I was like turning to sixth grade and stuff. So I like get to meet them, and the one thing that made me want to stay was like when um when I had like the realization about like climate change, like that I wanted to take action and stuff, because like facing the reality of like climate change like ruining the future and stuff. And also when I was like inspired by like how I went to like my first march, I think it was like the MLK march thing that was going on. Yeah, that.
No, I still remember, and I know I've talked about it a little. Where I remember that one. I feel like it was winter break of your sixth grade year, and you were texting me, and you were talking about how you were just really like really worried about the planet,
Mm,
and then you thought that Warriors for Justice should do more about it,
yeah.
right? Yeah. Um, do we have other questions for for Mariah and for Angelica at this point about things that they've talked about, things you want to know more about or curious about, things they've said that it's made you remember? Or do you remember first meeting Angelica, Mariah, and Aya?
I don't know. It's like lunch. I just remember the meetings usually was like lunch before instead of after school.
Yeah, they were lunch meetings before. Were there
Okay.
boys in Warriors for Justice?
No.
Not at first. At first, it was all girls, but then one day we were like, we should try and give the boys a chance to like join, because we were trying to think of like cons and pros of like having boys in the space, because at the time we were talking about like a lot of girl based issues also, but we had added them, and then I forgot why, but after we decided that we didn't want them inside anymore. But now I'm glad that there is, because like of course we want like different voices to be included into Warriors for Justice.
Yeah, I remember we were having, because we used to do lunch meetings and we would like put the tables together and we were all sitting around in a circle and we were all arguing about, well, not like, we were having a discussion about like if we should have boys in the meeting or not, and if they were going to be a conflict, and how some people were saying it was like it felt good to be like just an all girl group, and like And some girls were like, "Yeah, we should have boys." And it's like that was a conversation for a while. And I remember after, a lot of people started leaving, but it was just like a lot of people went and like came and went, and it was just like I'm glad that we have boys now because it's like a different perspective and it's like all inclusive and it's just different now. So yeah.
Angelica, do you remember like the early oratorical? Because Mariah was talking about oratorical. And so some people, I think they didn't realize or know how one of the big things too that I think we did as a club was to do spoken word and oratorical MLK oratorical contest, right? So do you remember? Because I think like there was a group piece, but then I know that you were one of the first people that did spoken word by yourself, right? And I know like I had asked if people have things they've written before because we could put together like a little book or something. But do you remember some of those things with oratorical and like doing spoken word?
I just remember like the auditorium was like really small, but when you go on stage, it looks really big. I just remember like that black stage and stuff, and I was like nervous too, like getting in front of like the judges and stuff.
I see that Santiago Olin is saying that you're gonna need to leave kind of shortly. Should we go from Angelica to Santiago Olin? Or what do you all want to do? Because I do know like officially we had said till 4:30. Do people have time to like extend till 5? Or should we wrap up at 4:30?
I think we could meet somewhere in the middle, like maybe 4:45, because maybe not 4:30, or like 4:50. Maybe not 5, maybe not 4:30. I don't know, something.
4:45, okay with everybody?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So
Okay.
so should we go then from Angelica to who would be next? Aiden?
I think it's me, or it's either me or Aiden. But I
Sophia
think
or
it's me.
said it's her. So Sophia should go.
Oh, okay. My first event, I guess my name's Sophia. If you didn't know, I go by she her. Uh, um, my first event I went to was in 6th grade, and it was the No Call in Oakland, and it was one of the first events he held for our grade for Works for Justice. But I wasn't officially a member during that time until the end of 6th grade that I had joined. Yeah. I think that's all I remember. Okay, I'm done.
Is there anything else you want to share about Warriors for Justice? And also, yeah, I know it's interesting to hear how we joined and what was going on at that time, but like how do you feel like participating has had an impact on your life too, right?
I guess participational wise, it's given me confidence to talk out to people, like make new friends and talk to others, and like talk about how I feel about certain topics and be proud of being able to say them and how I feel about them over the years I've been with Voice for Justice. It also helped me and Aiden. I'm gonna talk about it. We're starting to create a club. Okay, I think that's it.
Are you passing to Aiden?
Yeah, go Aiden.
Hi, I'm Aiden. Wait, Sophia, you didn't say your age or grade, but
I didn't. Oh, I'm 14. I'm in ninth grade.
okay. I'm also 14 and in ninth grade, and then I go to the same school as Sophia. Um, so I think my first event that I did was I did like it was like this thing with sixth grade where we were talking about the EPA and about coal in Oakland too. And I remember, sorry, it's my brother. I remember I wrote this whole speech about how I didn't want coal in Oakland and how the EPA should do something about it. But I didn't plan on saying anything. But then my friend, I had her read the speech and then she gave it to Miss Lisa. And then ultimately I had to say the speech. So, and then after the whole event, I think I was asked to join Warriors for Justice, but I didn't really want to, and I didn't show up until later because I was too afraid to do anything. Um, but then I did join, and I did more public speaking and I did more writing. And I think that Warriors for Justice really changed me as a person because before I did not talk like at all and hated speaking. But now, just like Sophia, I can talk on what I care about and can talk in public. I could do public speaking now. But I think that's it.
So you're starting up a club at your school?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We have like
We only up
um
to ninth grade, so there's still not that many people.
yeah, we have like 4 members and one of them's a pity member.
Stop.
Also the slides are something else. But we work at them on like 12, so they're really bad.
Well, the club enjoys them, so that's all that matters.
Because at this
Yeah.
numbers are at Envision, MetWest, and Ojai, right?
What?
Huh?
Like Envision, MetWest, and Ojai in terms of those of you who are in high school, right?
Yeah. Yeah, so
Uh,
we started, we've had like 2 meetings.
cool. So is that something where we could maybe in the future partner around things together?
Yeah.
Cool.
Aiden?
Anyone have other questions for Aiden or Sophia or things you want to know or share or memories you're thinking of?
I don't know if I missed it, but what is the group called? Or what is it about?
Oh, ours? We don't have a name yet.
Yeah, we don't have a name.
Yeah.
Nobody to name ourselves.
So right now, I think our name is just Shotties.
No, it's not.
But that's the code in the Discord.
You named it that. But right now, our group is focusing on homophobia because that's what the club members like wanted to focus on in our school. But at first, it was hard because we haven't been in person. But we found out that someone had been like saying homophobic slurs and like meeting like because we have community meetings with the whole school, so people have been spamming the chat with that. So we decided to focus on the homophobia in our school.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's something though, because I know that organizations I've worked with in the past, they will have chapters and stuff where people will go and they'll like be living in different cities. And if they have the same type of mission, that they'll be affiliated that way, where they're using the same name but like in different locations or different school campuses. Um, what all of you think about that? Maybe that's something we could talk about that and see what you think.
Yeah, I've seen it in like usually it's with bigger organizations, but it's like they'll have a Oakland chapter and they'll have a LA chapter and they'll have a San Francisco chapter or whatever. Usually they're farther apart, but yeah, that would be kind of cool.
We can be chapter number 2.
But it can be school based, you know, like sometimes people will have like HOOPA, Warriors for Justice, and then there can be like an Envision Warriors for Justice chapter, or like a Met West Warriors for Justice chapter, you know, stuff like that. Especially, I think, because the idea of the club is really broad and intersectional in terms of the social justice work that we are about, right?
Yeah,
Uh,
because in ours, a lot of the things correspond together. So we're trying to bring in how all of these other problems all intertwine with just a big problem.
Yeah, so we could talk about that idea then in terms of like visioning for the next 5 years, that idea of possibly what that could look like if people wanted to build chapters in different places. Or like Angelica Perkins really wants to have a group of people in a club right now at SF State and has been telling me like, but I don't know exactly what that would look like and who I would work with, and so we were kind of talking that over in terms of SF State too. Um, so I guess from Aiden, who would it be? Would it be Chris?
I think so. It would be Chris.
Yeah, me.
Yeah, it would be Chris.
Mm. So can you guys hear me or I think my voice is a little
You are
you know.
stopping.
Okay.
The signal's a little choppy, but I can hear you.
If not, then Santiago can go first before me.
Everyone else, you can hear Chris fine, right? Yeah, we can hear you okay.
Okay. So then I joined Warriors for Justice because of my cousin Angelica. And then she's on this call right now. And then so then I was in 6th grade. Angelica was in 8th grade. And then yeah. I'm also in my snuggie right now. So that's and then so like my favorite opportunities was like going to Harvard. And it was like very cool because we got to travel in the airplane, go to Boston with like Aiden, Sophia, Angelica Perkins, and then my cousin, and then also Mixed Crystal. And then it was like a cool experience because we got to help like know each other like personally and like each other out of school. And then so that was like really cool to like experience and stuff like that.
I know, yeah, Sophia, you did fall 2
And
times,
then
huh?
also
In the snow.
and then we
Now I can't hear Chris.
Yeah, we can't hear you, Chris.
Mic check, Chris?
I think the audio cut out.
Okay, I can hear you again.
Okay. So yeah, we were able to like hold like a mochi party because Angelica loves mochi. And then we went to the grocery store, and the people who like helped us with the karate lesson, they gave us or like they offered to give us lunch. So then we went to this place to eat near the dojo. It was
It was
just like a
kung fu,
cool
not
overlook.
karate.
Oh yeah, kung fu. And yeah, it was like cool. And then I've been able to like hold like meetings with Aiden and like the Fiona Ma, the state treasurer, and it's just giving me like more like opportunities as a person, and like it's been like really great and stuff there.
So from Chris, would it be Santiago Olin?
I don't know. I mean, I'm down to go.
I think you would be the next person that joined. But Angelica,
Okay.
Sophia, Mariah, what do you think? Would it be Santiago Olin or Oscar? Who would have been next?
Santiago.
Older, yeah,
Santiago.
yeah. And then yeah, uh-huh. So Chris, you're in 8th grade right now.
All right.
So the two of you are 8th grade.
Yeah, Chris and me. Yeah, and we're in the same class. We're both 8th
Yeah,
grade. I don't know how old he is, but I know I'm 13. Um,
13.
how did Warriors for Justice impact me as a person? It impacted me in many ways. I mean, because before this, I was definitely not as well educated in memes. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but it just got it's such a funny culture with Warriors for Justice, at least as I've been here. When at the same time it's serious. So yeah. I don't know how many we're supposed to answer, but how Wars for Justice has impacted UPA, I feel like I don't know. I feel like more students at UPA are, I guess, getting to know more because we have presented to the school. So maybe more students are knowing about different like social justice things. My favorite memory, oh, I don't know. We done heck of stuff. Maybe it was the mural in Fruitvale. I don't know. But yeah. Why? Because it was really big and it was just cool to see it finished. Cause um and the design process was fun too. Um my first memory. I think it was the rhetorical when I was in 6th grade. Cause I didn't join when I first got
Oratorical or Youth Speaks?
Can you hear me?
I can now.
Yes, it just kicked me out. I'm sorry. But yeah, I was just saying that I think my first memory was oratorical. And that was cool. I got to UPA late, sort of late in the school year, because there was this whole thing at my old school, and I guess I was just like the first month I was at my old school, and then I went to UPA, and then after the like after that, I guess that's when I joined, later into the year, and then what made me join is that it's just cool. It's a really nice space. Everybody who's at work is just as cool to be around. We're funny, but we also get stuff done, and it's like I guess it helps me speak more because if I don't feel as well versed in speaking, there's gonna be a bunch of options. So like, if you miss it this time, there's gonna be another opportunity. So it's just like there's a lot of opportunities to do good, and that's cool.
So the question I asked you though was, do you mean oratorical or the Youth Speaks event that we went to?
I don't know.
Oratorical
I don't.
is
I'm
when
not.
members have like performed and competed, and it's usually at. Has it been?
Yeah, I think it might have been I don't know which one it was, but I know it was when I went to with my parents and my siblings.
Oh yeah, that was Youth Speak.
So another okay, then maybe then you speaks then yeah. I guess that's my first memory. It was cool.
Is are your siblings there too, or it's just you?
No, we went so we're at my aunt's house and I stayed in the car to do the meeting and my siblings went with my aunt.
Okay. So I'm noticing the time, and we had said like 4:45, and I know that Oscar, Oneida, Kai, Michelle. Haven't had a chance to share yet, but I also want to make sure we're like keeping an eye on the time, and I wanted to find out what you all think. So those of you who are on our call for this 5-year anniversary, I wanted to know what your thoughts are in terms of like, should we try to do some type of some type of project, some type of video? Or do you think this is kind of a good way to remember?
No, yeah, some type of project would be cool. I don't know what it would be yet, but that would be cool, you know, because it is an anniversary and it is a 5-year anniversary, and that's a big deal.
Is everyone comfortable with me like loading the recording of what we were talking about and then maybe posting it and sharing it?
I'm okay with that.
If so, you can just give a thumbs up or like put it in the chat. So then, based on the time though, I do want to like give. So who? What would the order be? Would it be? Who's in 7th grade right now?
I think it would be Oscar and then Kai.
And Nita.
Did all Oscar, Oneida, and
Yeah,
Kai, all 3 of you join at the same time? Pretty much.
they did.
First though, because of Mariah, right?
I think I joined a little bit later than Oscar.
And I think Oneida was the last one to join.
I think just a little bit after, but I'm not sure.
And then even though Michelle is the same grade and age as Santiago, Aline, and Chris, I know that Michelle, you weren't able to be as active until this year because your little brother, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So Oscar, do you wanna share anything? And I think just for the 4 of you, it doesn't have to be a lot, you know. It could just be what your thoughts are. Is everyone able to hear Oscar? Because I don't know that I can hear Oscar. Mic check?
Yeah, no, I can't hear Oscar either.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah, I can hear too.
You guys hear me now? Or no?
Yeah, now I
Oh,
can.
hear now.
Okay. Well, I was saying that main reason why I joined was because of Mariah. I didn't really know much about Wars for Justice until Mariah told me more about what Wars for Justice is. And I was interested in it, and that's kind of why I joined. And I think my first event was the climate strike in September.
Yeah, I remember I remember Angelica bringing Chris when Chris was in 5th grade to an event in May. And then I remember Mariah and how Mariah, you'd always talk about Oscar. I feel like years before I met you, Oscar. Okay, so then from Oscar, I don't know who wants to go next, if it's Kai or Oneida, but based on time, can we take a quick picture? Because Santiago Oline's gonna go, and then we can finish the sharing. Michelle, can you turn your camera on real quick?
Oh, sorry. I thought it was on this whole time.
Okay, and then I'm thinking since it's a Warriors for Justice picture, we probably should have our fists up, right? Okay. So tell me when you're ready. Chris, you ready? Chris doesn't hear me. Chris! Is Chris frozen? Okay, ready, Chris?
Yeah, I think so. But you
We're
guys are
waiting,
frozen for me too.
we're waiting for your fist. All right, three, two, one. Got it. Oh, yay. Okay, cool. Um, okay, so Santiago, Olin, if you need to go, we can have the call again same time next week. And then let's have, yeah, Kai, Oneda, and Michelle. Do you want to just share just a little bit? And then that way it'll be part of the same recording.
Yeah. I think my first thing was also the climate strike, and I think that is the time that I got interested in Warriors for Justice. Well, right after that, Miss Lisa thought I might want to join, and then I went to my first meeting, and I was really scared. But I was really scared. But yeah, and then I just went there, and everybody was really cool, so I really liked it. And then um yeah, I just didn't at the start. I didn't really know what I was doing. I didn't really know what was going on, but I just had to keep listening and learning. And then I learned that it's a really big problem. They were all talking about really big things, and like I hadn't really thought about many of those things before, but Warriors for Justice definitely taught me about that. And so I think that showed me just a lot about what the world needs and what we need to do to change it.
Can I ask why you were scared?
Well, I was just mostly scared because everybody was older than me, and I thought everybody was so big.
So from Kai then to Oneda, right?
I gotta go, y'all. But happy 5th anniversary. Bye.
Okay, bye.
Um, how how I got interested in Words for Justice is when I was a little girl. I used to want to change the world, and because society was really bad, and I just wanted to change, but I couldn't like find a group or anywhere else to find Warriors for Justice, or I didn't know Warriors for Justice was a thing yet. And until I came to sixth grade, I heard Mix Corey say about like talking about Warriors for Justice. I didn't really want to go at first because I was scared too. But then more when Mix Corey started talking more about Warriors for Justice, I started getting interested more and more. And since I had those dreams as a little girl, I wanted to go, so I did, and I really liked it. So I kept on going to Warriors for Justice meetings. And a memory I had was when we went to the climate strike. That was my first trip, and I really liked it because I never experienced that feeling, and now I did, so it felt really good.
Thanks for sharing. From Oneda then to Michelle.
Yeah, I don't really remember the first time I was at Warriors for Justice. That's what I was trying to figure out the whole Zoom. But I don't remember the first time I remember being like with all of you was when we went to meet Angie Thomas for for the book. Um and I forgot what I was gonna say. Um yeah, I remember like one memory that stuck like with me that like I can't forget was the time that it was me, Mix Corey, Sophia, Aiden, and Angelica, where we were on a rush because Aiden had said that her mom their mom was waiting for them at school, and we were on a rush and we wanted boba, and then when we got there they were on the phone with their mom, and then turns out that they didn't go to work. So when we got there, we just couldn't stop laughing because their mom wasn't waiting for them. And then we were at the place with Mix Corey, and all of us had to stay in a room with a big mirror, and we were just being a mess, and we couldn't stop laughing, and we were on the floor, laying down. Yeah, so that was a memory that always stuck with me.
Thanks for sharing. So gosh, how do we wrap this up, right? But I'm so thankful and happy that we had a chance to just do a little bit of reflection and celebration. Last night, I was feeling all of this like excitement, even just thinking about, oh my gosh, it's 5 years tomorrow. And that's when I realized, like, oh, maybe I should send a text message and see if people can come. So, for those of you who haven't been joining us regularly, like, thanks for being down to join at the total last minute and stuff. And if you want me to continue to send an invite for following weeks, then we can just check in on that. But does anyone have any last words to wrap up the call today?
It was fun talking to everyone again. And I'm sorry for ghosting everybody for like months on end. That was my fault, I think. Yeah. But it was fun talking to everybody again. Yeah.
It's really nice.
That's all I can think about.
And I know that it's happened over the years. Like, people come and go, but we all have been an important part of each other's lives, or at least I feel like each of you has been an important part of my life, no matter what happens and where you are. So happy anniversary, everyone! 5 years! Woo!
Happy anniversary!
Okay. So we'll go ahead and wrap up the call, and we'll be in touch then, okay? Okay. Love you all.
Bye.
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 Thank you. Bye-bye.